Greetings, friends. We apologize. We had some technical difficulties in our streaming for the morning worship service. So we will share at this time the special music as well as the sermon. Thank you. Thank you for joining in.
Let all mortal flesh keep silence, and with fear and trembling stand. Ponder nothing earthly minded, for with blessing in his hand, Christ our God to earth descended, our full homage to demand. King of kings, yet born of Mary, as of old on earth he stood, Lord of lords in human vesture, in the body and the blood, he will give to all the faithful his own self for heavenly food. Rank on rank the host of heaven spread its vanguard on the way, as the light of light descended from the realms of endless day, that the powers of hell will vanish as the darkness clears away. At his feet the six-winged seraph, cherubim with sleepless eye, veil their faces to the presence, as with ceaseless voice they cry, Alleluia, 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 Lord Most High.
Greetings, dear friends, on this first Sunday of Advent. I am coming to you in this style just to make sure that weather, with the holiday travels, that weather does not get in the way of a message being shared. We heard about Buffalo a couple of weeks ago. Don't want that to be the case, or any interference with holiday travels, anything like that. So I'm coming to you this way today as we look at the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24, verses 36 through 44. Listen now for the word of the Lord. But about that day and hour no one knows, neither the angels of heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. For as the days of Noah were, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing until the flood came and swept them all away. So too will be the coming of the Son of Man. Then two will be in the field. One will be taken, and one will be left. 2 women will be grinding meal together. One will be taken, and one will be left. Keep awake, therefore, for you do not know on what day your Lord is coming. But understand this: if the owner of the house had known in what part of the night the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and would not have let his house be broken into. Therefore, you also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an unexpected hour. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of God's word. Friends, just a couple weeks ago in my 8100 Interdisciplinary Learning Lab course, in this seminar, we're sharing in conversation, reflecting on a work created by somebody who helped to build an archive. Archives are those houses, those places where texts are stored. Text in the meaning of that which offers information, that which might be a source of authority, but definitely a source of information. So an archive can have videos or sound recordings. It can be books or newspapers and the traditional, what we would recognize as text. But also it can be a different source, a movie. It can be a video. It can be a sound, something like this. And in this particular archive, home videos were stored of those of South Asian descent. And part of the work that this writer was engaged, that this scholar was engaging in, Michelle Caswell, she was working to do liberating memory work, liberatory memory work, which she recognizes to be, in that context of archives, to engage in archiving in a manner that does not continue the cycle of violence enacted toward minorities and people of color, people being misrepresented by archives. For instance, don't want women to just be represented as doing kitchen work in the archive. That is a misrepresentation of women. Don't want Southern Asians to be represented as just violent individuals. That is a misrepresentation of South Asians. Or don't want South Asians to be misrepresented as just floating through life easy, carefree. That would be a misrepresentation of the reality, the lived experience. And so this is what Michelle Caswell is doing, trying to engage in liberatory memory work by disrupting cycles of violence enacted toward, in this situation, South Asians through the work of archiving. And so she's laying out how she goes about doing this work, and ultimately comes to a point of saying that this work is not just simply to be hung on the hook, hung on the rung of hope. That is, one is not simply engaging in liberatory memory work. You don't simply just rely on hope. And really, in her argument, I agree. She's arguing that you don't just trust that in due time things will work themselves out. That's not where you place your hope. But I disagree with the way that she articulates it. She says that one does not simply resign to hope, but instead should engage in a joy-filled, disrupting activity in the present. Now, disrupting that cycle. You don't want to rely and just wait and leave it for what's to come, but to do it right now. Now, the way that she presents it, I can't separate hope from my present moment. And I shared this in discussion in class. These things are not mutually exclusive. They are not opposing forces, because with me, hope holds such theological weight, such theological significance, theological implications, that hope, imagining that which is to come, that which I do hope for, that I strive toward in a day that is to come, that does drive me in the now. That is the light, that's the fire, that's the flame inside of me to be able to engage in the necessary work right now, whether that work is disruptive or not. I trust on a hope for that which is to come. My hope for that which is to come really does ground me. It really does center me. It really informs me in what I'm doing right now. And beloved, I really do believe that it's this concept. I'm not knocking Dr. Caswell, not at all, because we're really on the same page. We just articulate it a little bit different. But on this first Sunday of Advent, hope. I believe that the text is calling us to engage in an expected, in an eschatological hope, considering an eschatological hope that really informs our eschatological present. You know, this text presents some difficult, some challenging images and concepts. It gives us a little bit of that left behind theology, it seems, when really what it's saying, it's not saying that, you know, one day the rapture is going to happen and those that are holy are going to be taken away and those who are evil will be damned and will remain, and that's how that's going. It's kind of setting up the opposite image, really, an opposite description than that. But it's also not saying that just because we don't know when something is going to happen, we don't know when Jesus will return, we don't know when all of salvation will be made, all of creation will find its salvation being made whole, being restored to that which God intended for God's creation. We don't know when. You know, early in the chapter, the disciples say, all right, when is this stuff going to happen? And Jesus, like, you know, beats around the bush a little bit, but then right here offers a direct answer, though not the answer that the people want. But the answer is that surely, God knows when this return will take place, when things will be made fully whole. Surely, God knows when this will take place. But in the meantime, in between time, my followers are supposed to be on the look, on the watch, being very attentive, very wakeful, very expectant of that. And this is not to say, oh, when is it going? Oh, is it happening now? Oh, is it happening right now? So we supposed to be looking. We're supposed to be checking out, which means we're supposed to be testifying to. We're supposed to be engaging in ministry and practices and actions and discourses and exchanges that do reflect our longing for that to happen, for creation to find that wholeness, that integrity, to find that salvation. We're supposed to be engaging in stuff that reflects our longing for that. But we do so not just saying, oh, I can't wait for that to happen, and so I'm meander in the meantime. Not exactly. Look, I have this memory of like, what grade? 4th grade, when 5th grade, my cousin said that she was gonna pick me up and take me to a movie. You know, at the end of the school day. This had been cleared with the administrators, cleared with my teacher, that my cousin is coming to pick me up to take me to go see a movie. I am excited. Of course, I'm looking forward to this thing that I've been hoping for, that I've been longing for. I can't wait for the end of the day and for her to come and get me so we can go do this thing that I'm going to enjoy so very much. So what happens throughout the day is that I am engaging in work that I know I got to get done, and that, will make sure that that's all good. I'm engaging in work right now in the present before this wonderful thing happens. I'm making sure I get my homework done. I'm making sure that I'm respectful to my teacher. You know what I'm saying? Making sure nothing disrupts this treat at the end of the day. I'm making sure that I get my work done for the day, but also my homework done. I'm making sure that I am attending to everything along the way, even as I anticipate this wonderful event to take place at the end of the school day. That is just how it happened. That's how I remember that day. And I'm not trying to big up myself, big up fifth grade Adam or anything like that, but just saying that excitement, and that excitement that I think we all might feel at different times and anticipating something. And so making sure that right now things, we doing what we need to be doing out of excitement, out of anticipation, looking forward to that which is to come. This is what the text is calling us to do. This is what Jesus is calling his followers to do. Looking forward. We know salvation. We know salvation through the incarnation. This has happened. And Jesus has come and lived and died and been raised again. So we know that's salvation. And we also know the difficulties that persist with this reality. And so we also look forward. We are looking forward to his return, to that eschaton, that eschatological event when all things are made whole. We're looking forward to that. But this wakefulness, this watchfulness, this attentiveness that Jesus calls his followers to is a calling to engage in work that anticipates what you're looking for, looking toward that eschatological future, but having that eschatological present, having that present right now. Looking forward to that great, glorious day. But then also right now, recognizing how, that day has not come. And so saying, how do I live into that? Our theme for next year. But how do we live into that right now? How do I get ready for that, or get, on earth as it is in heaven, get ready for that? Not like my ticket up out of here. No, but like transforming this thing right here. We don't have that quite yet. We still have students suffering on campuses, elementary, middle, high school, college campuses. We have siblings of ours suffering in locations meant for entertainment, meant for relaxation, meant for just fun and kicking it, that are suffering acts of violence. We still have power imbalances. We have oppression. We have gendered and non-gendered imbalances. We can go on and on. But what are we doing? How can we engage in that good work right now? Looking at that, but saying, all right, now. I believe that the Boggs School in Detroit, Michigan, as well as Visionary Organizing Lab, are wonderful examples of this. This school, Boggs School, from the Boggs couple up in Detroit, this is a school that equips and empowers young people to be critical thinkers and make a change in the world. But this school is a part of a community that engages in community organizing in those spaces, in those areas of life that have been underinvested really disenfranchised, and so community neighborhoods suffer as a result. This school plays a key role in transforming that gap, and with respect to what we want, what we're longing for, and what really is right now. Well, living that eschatological hope right now. This is what Bog School does, and the Learning Lab, which was based out of Detroit and now is nationwide. They too play an instrumental role in helping to helping to lead and structure reform organizations to operate with liberatory practices. And part of what they are connected to, I spoke with a representative, Genciano Clotter, of Imaginary Learning Labs, and they engaged part of a neighborhood in Detroit where they have been incredibly disenfranchised, marginalized economically. Food desert with plenty of liquor stores, corner stores, convenience stores, that type of food desert, and a desert with respect to access to resources for building up young people, engaging in extracurricular activities. In that location where so many organizations have shut their doors, so many different institutions have moved out, yet churches remain in the area, and churches have worked together in order to acquire land, to be able to create community gardens. In order to begin to build programming to provide some of the support that youth are longing for in the area. And engaging in liberatory practices. One thing is that disinvestment with respect to street lights. Can't even light up the streets with local governmental assistance. Local leaders, including churches, help to create solar and wind powered lights, street lights. Really reflecting what happens when a community really considers what is to come and how we do that right now. Saying, look, God's very presence is going to be the light. We ain't even going to need the sun, but just God among God's people is going to be the light by which we live and find everything that we need. How are we going to do that light right now? Well, we have been created with a light, and we're going to shine that light. Really, no pun intended, but there's a clear connection with them street lights. But we're going to shine that light right now. That young people will have access, that families will have connection to sources, to the nourishment that they need, that communities will find power and strength through collaboration, co-laboring with one, that we can do it right now. Yeah, we're waiting. Yeah, things aren't perfect. Yes, we're waiting on a return and a final consummation of all creation. But we are going to do some work right now. This is what it is to pay attention. This is what it is to remain awake. This is what it is. This is what it is to live what we're hoping for in the present moment. Let it be so. Amen.